So the plan for the actual 90 minutes we have at COA this week, we'd like to, there's still some cleanup work we even have to do on our end with these files, but you're welcome to start taking these and duplicating them and trying out some of the workflows and even doing some of the work before we get there. So I know everyone's time is valuable. I don't want to force you to do anything, obviously, but whatever you want to do before the COA event, leading up to it, I could show the result and kind of here's what Balfour Beatty did for the last few days, and I'll present it. Or if you want to interact live while I'm there at that session, uh, John Roach actually has already uh, offered to say a few words from the Foundation for California Community Colleges. So John, if you're available, we'll have GoToMeeting running. I have speakers set up. We already have the audio figured out there, so we can actually show um, your screen if you want to show anything, saying on the Foundation of California Community Colleges, we have data for this new facility. We have a request for a new project. Here's the project, the clinic. And we've also just opened up our GIS layers for the Fairfield campus, and you can see the details of it when you open up the layers. And then I will just kind of respond to that and show what I just went through. Well, here's the program requirements, here's a site, here's the GIS layers, walk through that whole thing. So that's the Foundation's role right there. And John, if you want to add anything while you're presenting, please feel free to do so. Let's go through who is so far signed up to participate. We have, I mentioned Architecture VBN, who is working on that campus right now for an actual project, master planning. So hopefully they'll be doing more work kind of centered around that. Balfour Beatty is looking at design, construction, energy analysis, cost estimating, and they're going to have multiple teams from around the U.S. participating. Beck Technologies was bringing in Deep Profiler, I mentioned that. BIMScore, Tony Ranella, Dixon Clark, and Calvin Cam will be there at COA during the event, and BIMScore is going to be evaluating the workflows and processes and the maturity of the way that data is being shared. How's data? What's the latency? How long does it take to? Does it take 2 weeks to export stuff, send it off to somebody else, and get a result back, or are we getting closer to doing more real-time interaction for cost or energy analysis? So they'll be having using the BIMScore method that was developed with Stanford, and BIMScore is the company that's actually implementing it for a lot of owners. Broadus and Associates looking at BIM to lifecycle using COBE, the Foundation for California Community Colleges, Fusion BIM GIS, so that's John Roach. Onuma will be supporting the overall BIMStorm and also showing some of the work that we've been doing with the work orders that we just showed, and the Navisworks connection and the Fusion connection. Pankow is going to be looking at COBE, and we have a couple more teams. Actually, we have some people online. Michael Scarmack, you're online, right? Is he online? Tim Blattner, I see you online as well too. If you can let us know if you plan on participating, we'll actually expand this list. I didn't want to just add you here, but if you're planning on participating, let us know, and we'll add you to this list. Or if you just want to observe, that's fine as well too. So that's the overall process. Tony, actually, I see you online. Do you mind saying a few words about BIMScore? Because I don't know if everybody is familiar with what you guys do and what you might be looking at.
Hello.
Hello, Tony.
Hi. Thanks, Kimon. Yes, BIMScore looks at a variety of measures. We have 60 measures, which are broken primarily into 4 areas of planning, adoption, technology, and performance. We'll be chatting with you folks throughout the BIMStorm process, and also we'll have 3 or 4 BIMScore team members following online in order to get a good picture of what it is that is happening here. Oh, thanks for putting up the website, Kimon. So our notion, we'll be doing some background work with John Roach initially to get a sense of how projects go without BIMStorm, and we will be scoring that on the maturity matrix, which I guess I should have backed up. We have data from many projects around the world, and as we're doing the scoring on a particular project's BIM and VDC maturity, that gets benchmarked against other projects from around the world, so that we can, one, see what this project is doing that might be typical or best practice or innovative, and two, by looking at the deficiencies, we can take advice from other projects in the database and show a project team how to increase their utilization of VDC. So getting back on the main line, we'll work with John to get a baseline of how projects work without BIMStorm, and then we will take a reading of the score on the project at the very beginning for this BIMStorm, and then we'll give some advice and cycle back through toward the end of the project and see if the advice has been implemented in such a way that it raises the VDC maturity of the project. You can hit us with any other questions.
Thanks, Tony, and excited to have you guys involved in this. I guess one thing, since you're on right now, the other thing that I was asked to announce, Tony and I both have several hats we wear, but one of the hats that we wear is with the AIA Technology and Architectural Practice Committee, Knowledge Community. And Steve Hagan asked me this morning if we can announce at COAA, and we're together with COAA and BIM Forum. We have the BIM Awards that we're going to be promoting. So there's multiple things that are happening here. That's one of them, and hopefully this will stir up discussions about what can be done with kind of this integrated approach as we go through these projects. Tony, would you like to add anything to that, or are we okay? I guess we're okay. All right. So we have.
I think I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm good for now. I'm hoping that by the time we're all either physically or virtually at COA together, we'll also have some interesting conversation about the evolution of the BIM Awards and where we're going in the next year or two.
Right. Okay, great.
I think Mike has some comments to go with all this.
Okay.
I might just unmute him and he can share all his questions.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
So the announcement is that the AGC BIM Forum and COA are joining in sponsoring the AIA BIM Awards.
I'm not sure if sponsoring is the right word, Tony. What are we using to describe that? That's a collaboration where we're all involved.
That's huge, and whatever
Yes,
the specific words are, I want to know and promote that.
Okay, that's great. What we're doing with COA is what we've done with the BIM Forum associated with the AGC over the past couple of years, which is there will actually be a COA jury who will review submissions to the BIM Awards, and that jury will have the power to award one of the BIM Award citations.
That's great.
And
Yeah.
they can establish their own criteria, and we will give out the award in conjunction with the other citations at the BIM Awards.
Right.
And that's similar to AGC's. Is AGC going to look at things also?
We have a slightly different procedure with the BIM Forum, which is we do a Professionals' Choice Award with them. We have selected submissions to the BIM Awards presented at a BIM Forum, and then people vote in the moment. They vote online, and then that's a Professional's Choice Award, which is also one of the citations of the BIM Awards. For COA, the difference is COA will actually assemble their own jury and have a more formal discussion and debate so that we can learn more about what the owners are finding to be exemplary and of greatest value.
Just the fact that you're linking to these other associations is excellent.
Yeah, that's been a push for us, is to see how we can broaden the reach. Actually, the conference we had last week in SciFi, broadening the perspective, is along those themes too. So how do we start connecting the dots beyond what we have been doing in the past? Okay, so are there any other? I had one more thing I wanted to show before I log off, but are there any other questions from the audience? Paul Adams, I see you're here
No.
too. Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if you are aware that COA is creating its own certification program that they're going to launch next year, and it would be ideal to get some kind of web-based BIM series of courses as part of that program. So they'll be talking about that next week, and if you weren't aware of it, that might be a good time to suggest some type of web-based BIM track.
Yeah, that sounds good. Can certainly do that.
All right, thank you.
Tony, you can still talk. He had a question about what is the scope of that certification.
They're just determining it. There's information on the COA Fall Leadership Conference website, and it lists the areas that they're looking. 2013 will be a sample year, and the full rollout will be 2014, their 20th anniversary.
So that's it. I know this is kind of a whirlwind, and I know that a lot of us that have participated in previous BIMStorms are probably familiar with what would be of interest for you to do. We will be documenting the results of this. This whole thing with COA started from a phone call where we got, can you come and present at COA, and then it slowly evolved into, can we do something a little bit more interactive, to now we're kind of doing a mini version of what we've been doing on other BIMStorms. That's why we wanted to keep it kind of focused on teams that have already participated, so we don't have to go through the training sessions we typically do. And if anybody has any input or ideas that you'd like us to adjust or input into the event next week, please let me know, let us know. And thank you all for participating. And we are looking for other people that would like to jump in. If you want to add your name to the list here, if you have previously been part of a BIMStorm and have that capability, please let us know. And with that, I think we'll end this unless there's anything else. I think we're right at the hour here. Thanks for your time. Are we okay, Amber?
Yeah, everything's all right.
Okay. And we have hopefully recorded this successfully, so we'll try and post it to the website as well. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll be logging off.